Now, it's no doubt that the 1960 Club is the perfect spot for socializing, working, or even just enjoying a drink. But when you step outside, that's when you see what really makes this place so special.
The Bash family is far from being alone. Most of their community wiped out in the Palisades fire. As you can see, the devastation is far-reaching. It's opening day here at Rams training camp, and players and fans brought all of the energy to the field on day one. Los Alamitos trying to come off of a tough loss to San Clemente, and you got Mission Viejo trying to hold their record of being undefeated against California teams. With the success of a DUI checkpoint, the city of Malibu says it's looking to hold more in the future. An Oregon State win over Santa Clara could force a three-way tie at the top of the standings. These drones will have many purposes, with one of the main ones being detecting wildfires before they spread. And just like Moon Shadows was known for its scenic ocean views, so is their location on Zuma Beach, the Sunset Restaurant. The Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing, set to be completed in the fall, is facing backlash. If you thought Jordan in downtown LA was your typical store, think again, because they have a half basketball court on the roof. A settlement has been reached in a civil rights lawsuit from a teen alleging he was beaten at a Malibu juvenile facility. The helpful Honda team made it to the Boys and Girls Club, and what's better than free ice cream? Yeah!
This was where my room was. This is my bed frame. And then over there was like my balcony area where I would watch the sunset almost every night.
Diver Vivian Vallely and swimmer Anna Ryan were enjoying a team trip to Disneyland when the Palisades fire broke out, leaving them with only the clothes on their backs after their apartment building burned.
I had to have a lot of faith in that moment that everything was going to be okay.
The two hold fond memories of their first college apartment, their home together.
We really loved this place. We named it Bungalow. It was awesome.
Their favorite spot in the bungalow, the Nook, a custom table Vivian's uncle built for them to fit right under the windows.
One of those places in the house that was just so personal and like ours, and we had like hours of conversation at that table, and it was the perfect first home.
After the fire, Vivian and Anna's teammates quickly jumped into action, providing them with temporary housing and a clothing drive to get them back on their feet.
It was like a huge store of organized by category, and one of those was all the team gear.
The pair knew they wanted to continue living together, but where they ended up signing a new lease was unexpected.
Okay, this feels a lot better. We're used to this side of Malibu, which is nice. It just kind of feels right.
After almost signing a lease on an apartment that didn't feel right, the roommates landed in a place close to their old apartment, in the middle of the devastation.
We've been through this. We're still going through this. I'm not shoving it away and avoiding it. I live in it. I can see other places that have been affected.
For Anna, her faith was at the forefront as she navigated this unique journey.
Yeah, and I can't imagine going through this without it, my faith in God.
With so much uncertainty, Anna says she has relied on prayer.
I can't control anything, if this isn't an example of that enough. And it's all out of my control. So prayer is something that I can do, and I do have control over.
And piece by piece.
This is my hydro, or was, I guess. Here's random tiles that I had plans of painting, it just hasn't gone around.
Anna and Vivian are building something new, grounded in the memories that made their first home special.
Life is moving on, but it's still okay that it's hard sometimes.
4 separately filed lawsuits against the state of California, the county of Los Angeles, the city of Malibu, Caltrans, and the Coastal Commission. Alex Bahar, the attorney of one of the suits, says these families are fighting for the future.
We don't want this to ever happen again to another family, to another child, to another young adult.
The parents of the 4 girls, as well as Pepperdine senior Carlos Sola, who was injured in the crash, are arguing negligence due to the safety of Pacific Coast Highway. Since 2013, the lawsuit states that there have been 62 accidents on the shoulder where the October 17th crash occurred. These dangerous accidents have given the 0.8-mile section of PCH the name Dead Man's Curve.
Well, it just goes to show you how stupid we are. Everyone knows the nickname and what that area, and yet nobody did anything about it.
Michelle Shane lost his young daughter Emily to a speeding driver on PCH in Malibu in 2010. Michelle says he and his wife didn't take legal action following their loss because the risk was too great at the time.
If we lost the lawsuit to the state, then we would be responsible for their costs. Nobody wants anyone to die, but we've got to stop saying that and do something about it.
In 2015, 5 years after Emily's death, the city allocated $28 million for safety improvements on Pacific Coast Highway, with 130 changes. To date, only 7 have been completed.
What that study just continues to reiterate, for decades, is just the knowledge that these state actors have had of the problems with this roadway.
The plaintiffs argue in the lawsuit that as a direct result of unwillingness to fix and acknowledge the dangers of the highway, they suffered injury, loss of companionship, wrongful death, expenses, and financial support of those who passed.
On one side, going through the trial is going to be emotionally draining, but on the other side, maybe having the lawsuit will give you strength in hoping that the deaths weren't for nothing.
May we have a roll call?
Councilmember Grisanti.
Here.
Councilmember Silverstein.
Present.
Councilmember Euring.
Here.
They have served on the city council and they want 4 more years. Paul Grisanti and Steve Euring, who are seeking re-election, are united in their mission for public safety. Grisanti points to speeding on Pacific Coast Highway as his #1 concern.
We're not a thrill ride at Disneyland.
Grisanti, who has lived in Malibu since 1978, serves with the Volunteer Fire Brigade. He has seen the city devastated by wildfires.
We've actually lost houses in 93 and 07.
Grisanti says strategies are needed to mitigate these natural disasters.
So we're pretty fire prevention oriented.
Steve Euring, a retired executive officer of a company and internet startup who has lived in Malibu since 1994, shares Grisanti's focus on safety.
I'm focused on a couple things. One, public safety is #1.
Euring is also dedicated to preserving Malibu's unique landscape.
The residents' job is to protect and the natural environment that we have for present and future generations.
Euring says his ideas align with those of the third incumbent, Bruce Silverstein. Silverstein is the only council member with a law background.
A lot of what takes place at the council table or the council level are legal issues.
Although they share a common goal of keeping Malibu safe, it is clear that when the council meets here at City Hall, the leaders do not always see eye to eye.
Paul and I, we're not having beers together on Friday night.
Grisanti specifically points out bad decisions his challengers have made for the city's development and planning.
2 of my opponents appointed people who are to sit on the planning commission who are basically against anybody doing anything.
And now they are each running on their records for another term.
And that I would use my 46 years of experience in Malibu to try and avoid leading us down a path that's been trod many times before and has never worked.
Ignore the words, take a look at their actions, and when you do that, I think you'll vote for me.
Ryan, I spoke with Cole Harkey earlier in the season after one of your guys' first wins against Uville, and he told me that the team's mentality was to take it one game at a time. Tell me how that mentality got you guys to the championship today and ultimately got you the win.
Yeah, I think
I am joined again here with Ella Brubaker, who put up 20 points tonight with a game winner in overtime after doing the exact same thing, 20 points and a game winner in overtime at our last home game. So Ella, it's been quite the run for you the past few games. What have you been doing to keep up the composure in these high pressure games to make sure you can put up the points that your team needs?
Thanks, guys. I'm down here on the half with Luke Fahey of Mission Viejo after a 76-49 win over Los Alamitos. This was a tight game until the fourth quarter. So what changed in that fourth quarter for you guys?
I just think...
And you guys were down 10 at halftime, so what adjustments did you make in that locker room to come out in the second half and make sure you guys could get the job done today?
Yeah, the third quarter was huge.
Coach, you've played 9 out of your 10 games, all at different high schools, and you said this took a toll on the team last week. So what have you guys done to turn it around in this first half?
Well, we came over.
And with that being said, you guys do still have a few more games until conference play starts, and that is going to be a road game, but until then you have all home games. So what is the team hoping to nail down in these next few games before that Santa Clara game? I'm down on the field with the Crenshaw head coach, Terrence Whitehead. Coach, tell me what worked for your squad in the first half.
I think we was getting off the ball, running the ball.
Pepperdine's top finisher 2 years in a row. Lizzie, tell me about how your race strategy has changed between your freshman and sophomore year.